Hello everyone and welcome to Footage Fanatics. We binge watch what's on the big screen or the television screen at home and we talk about it. First on the docket here, let's go ahead and get to the weekend that was in the box office. Brandon, what do the numbers look like?
Box office, well, number one came in with Zootopia at $51 million, which was the weekend. Total gross actually has come up to $143 million. Number two actually was kind of surprising. 10 Cloverfield Lane came at number two with $24 million, and Deadpool came in third at $10.9 million. London Has Fallen was was pretty close to Deadpool at $10.8 million. And then number five, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot came in at $4.6 million. Never heard of it yet, so I don't know what that movie is. The Perfect Match came at number six.
So let's talk, because we don't have a weekly movie review, so let's discuss, we both on our own side, Zootopia. Mm-hmm. What were your initial thoughts on Zootopia?
It was better than I expected it to be. A couple people said that it's not like a normal Disney movie, and that's where I was kind of worried about it. Like, it's all animals, right? And it's not exactly how you would expect Disney to have their movie, right? But it was good. I liked it. It was a good family movie, but at the same time, it was good for those who don't have little kids with them, and it was good overall. 10
Cloverfield Lane, real quickly, sounds like a movie we both kind of want to see. You said you heard that it was pretty good.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. I believe my brother did see it. And I mean, at least I know he saw it. Is it a prequel or a
sequel?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I haven't talked to my brother a lot about it, but what he said before he saw the movie was that he didn't even know what it was about, and he saw Cloverfield, and apparently they don't talk about the first movie very, very much, but I think it's after. It's got to be after, just because of how the trailer is. But I mean, it looks good. I'm going to go see it once I see the first one. Yeah. But I don't think it's something where you have to see the first movie to see this one.
Well, I'm definitely gonna see it. It looks pretty good. Yeah. All right, well, up next on Footage Fanatics, it is the Footage 5. We take the top 5 headlines from the past week in the movie and television world, and we talk about them. Brandon, what's number 5?
Number 5, if you want a Fallout movie, keep waiting. Reports came out that Bethesda has turned down numerous ideas for a Fallout movie. Will we ever get one, or should we even get one?
I think it's an interesting concept. I'm curious as to why Bethesda's been shutting them down. Maybe they just haven't made good enough concepts. Maybe they're just waiting for that monster idea. It's like, okay, this is it. This is the one we want to go for. What are your interests in it? And have you played Fallout?
I've played a little bit, and I wasn't a big fan of it, so that's where this is kind of difficult for me. Yeah. But I've never liked the idea of taking a video game into a movie.
What are some of the best ones that have been that you can think of top of your head?
I honestly can't think of one.
I would say the one that's kind of for me, and this never really was a full-on, it was after the movie, but like Tron was a movie and then video game kind of thing. But the way they go the opposite way, I'm trying to think of a video game that turns into a movie. I mean, if they were to do like Call of Duty, that's kind of an easy one. I think it's kind of I wouldn't call it a cop-out, because I'm sure it would be good, but I'm trying to think of others.
Story. There was rumors about Halo.
Halos? There was one that was a Netflix version of a Halo movie. That was really good. I can't remember what it was called, but that actually was very good.
I'm just not a fan of it.
I think that'd be awesome. And a Halo movie?
The big one is Minecraft.
Minecraft
movie is going to come out.
Angry Birds is coming out soon.
That's right.
That looks okay.
But that's not. But see, those two are more of like a cartoon type of deal.
Yeah.
Whereas
into a live action movie.
More towards like the kids, right?
Sure.
I mean, Minecraft is a little bit. It's not completely towards kids, but it has that kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Doing a movie like Halo or Fallout.
I got one. World of Warcraft. Warcraft's coming out. Yeah, that looks amazing. And I used to play World of Warcraft. It's a pretty fun game, and I don't play anymore. I'm not that big of a nerd, but anymore. No offense, but I think that's going to be successful. That looks really good. I think that's going to be a good one. But that's the whole series.
I was never a big fan of that game, so again, I'm very hesitant to talk about these movies.
Well, speaking of a movie that you love, let's move on, because Henry Cavill, is it Cavill? I don't know. Henry Cavill says his Clark Kent is true to DC Comics, stating that it's an interpretation that remains faithful to DC Comics. In a recent interview with InSing, Cavill said the following: It's more the Clark Kent from the comic books as opposed to the Richard Donner, Christopher Reeve version of Clark Kent. While that character is very much beloved, I feel like this Clark is more in line with that who is a journalist. He's a reporter. There's less of that light touch, less of that comedic touch to his performance or his presentation to the world. For Clark, there are very serious issues. Certainly in this movie, he's going to try to get Perry to say, look, this Batman guy is a bad guy. Let me tell the story about him. He's trying to use his position as a reporter to make things better without having to resort to the cape. It's interesting to see there's a more serious tone. There's more presence of a place of importance as a journalist. Thoughts about the comments and thoughts about, because you just said you saw Man of Steel again over the weekend. So
I thought it was even worse.
Those comments, he says that Clark Kent, this is the one from the comics.
The first movie wasn't. That's for damn sure. I mean, the first movie wasn't even close to the comics.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, he's talking about the reporter stuff, right? So it's obviously that he's not talking about the first movie because we saw him as in the Daily Planet for maybe 60 seconds. Maybe. At the very end, like 30 seconds. So, I mean, he better be talking about this movie, but at the same time, Batman's in it. So you got, I don't know. I have a feeling that they're gonna really try to fix what they did wrong in the first movie by telling more of Superman's story, as far as not as a kid, but more as him at the Daily Planet and dealing with those issues. But they've already kind of ruined a couple of things. Lois Lane found him. He didn't tell Lois Lane that he's Superman, how it kind of supposed to happen. So that whole dynamic with him and Lois Lane is going to be completely different from how it's supposed to be. And if they want to focus on him in this movie, then how are you going to involve the rest of the, Batman and all of this other stuff? To me, after seeing the first movie, it just felt rushed. They should have. And I know people don't want to see the story all over again and blah, 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 blah. But sometimes you need to do that to make it so that you can understand where they're coming from.
Sure.
And you can kind of connect to the characters, because I didn't connect to them whatsoever. I didn't connect to any, there was maybe one or two moments where they would show scenes from back when he was a kid.
Yeah.
But even when, his dad died in the movie and how that happened, it's like, no, he could have saved him.
Sure.
Easily.
Well, speaking of character development, we'll talk more about characters coming into Civil War now. But number 3 on the Footage 5 coming up in April, Star Wars Episode 7 is coming out on DVD, including a feature-length documentary called Secrets of the Force Awakens, a cinematic journey giving a behind-the-scenes look at the whole process of making the movie. You excited? First of all, excited because now we get to watch it as much as we want on DVD. Secondly, that behind-the-scenes thing, I think it's going to be awesome.
Have they said how long it is?
No, I haven't seen.
Because
I didn't see it.
A lot of movies do this where it's like, oh, behind the scenes,
like 10 minutes.
And it's like,
or like an hour version. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be an hour. I want at least 20 to 30 minutes, probably. I mean, the thing is, if you're gonna hype it up this much, then it better be 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It better not be like this 5-10 minute little tiny clip.
What's number 2 here on the Footage 5?
Number 2, there's a full-length animated version of DC's controversial graphic novel, The Killing Joke, coming soon. And the dynamic duo between Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy are back as the voices of the Joker and the Batman. The Killing Joke is centered around the story of the Joker trying to drive Jim Gordon insane, with Batman trying to stop him. Warner Bros. Has been reluctant with the R-rated superhero films, but now we'll get it. The Deadpool effect kind of coming around.
I think so. The Deadpool. I mean, granted, this probably been a little bit of the works before Deadpool, came out, and it's only been a month or so or less than Deadpool's come out. So it's probably been in the process since then. But probably anticipated is going to be a success. And now that we're going to start seeing the floodgates kind of open for this kind of stuff, for obviously more Deadpool movies, more R-rated stuff. Disney said they're staying away in terms of the Star Wars, so we won't be getting that. But I think it is that we're going to look back on this and call it a Deadpool effect, from saying, hey, not only is it acceptable to do this, but it's also extremely successful if you do it correctly. And to have these guys voice that, bring back Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, who have been partnered together as Batman and Joker for so long, or Joker and Batman respectively for so long, I think it's going to be awesome, especially with the storyline. I looked more into it today of what The Killing Joke is all centered around, and the more and more R-rated we get, the more and more of the true Joker that we kind of get to see, because he's not a PG-13 character.
Right.
Let's be honest here. He's a R-rated character. You're going to want to see him in this kind of field. You're going to want to see him driving people insane, and this is what it should be. And so I think it is the Deadpool effect. It's going to open up for these kind of movies to be successful.
Yeah, but you got to do the right movies, and the right movies have to be rated R. I'm nervous now to see Suicide Squad because that is not rated R.
You would maybe had hoped that maybe like a year or two down the road where they could have really done it. I think it'll still be pushing the limits.
Yeah, I mean they'll push the limits.
PG-13, right?
Yeah, it's PG-13. But think about how great The Dark Knight was, right? But if you're able to dig more deep into the Joker in that story, it could have been a lot better. You got to be careful with the rated R though, because you can't push it too much to where it doesn't tell a story. Yeah. And it's just blood and gore and all that.
One final note, I think Suicide Squad, even though it's not rated R, I think it's going to push that barrier almost. I mean, it's not going to be like the one where moved up from PG to PG-13. It's going to be one this could be considered possibly.
It's the one that moved down from R to PG.
Yeah, to get, Okay, quickly, number one, and this is real fast. Daredevil Season 2 is coming out this week. I know you don't watch it. I'm telling you, nothing like the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. Season 1 was incredible. And talking about online series with the guys like Arrow, Flash, you talk about, was it Jessica Jones? Daredevil and Arrow and Flash I watched, and Daredevil is amazing. It's incredible. I forget the main character, the actor's name, but it's phenomenal. And we're talking about Walking Dead here in a little bit. Shane, again, actor's name I can't remember, but he is the Punisher in the Season 2, and so I think it's gonna be amazing. I'm excited for it. You should binge watch Season 1 before 2 comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out, but I'm not a big fan of superhero TV shows. One though that I want to see that would be good is Superman, which they already did with Smallville, which was really good. Yeah. But real quick, Indiana Jones 5 is coming in 2019. That's just breaking news, came out earlier today. Harrison Ford is coming back, and Steven Spielberg will return as director.
Awesome.
So 2019, July 19th.
So a ways to go, but it's going to be good. All right. We're going to take a quick break here on Footage Fanatics. Coming up next segment, we're going to talk about Walking Dead and have trailer time with a new Civil War trailer. We'll be right back.
Watch our Spanish newscast Noticiero TV Friday at 10:30 a.m. Sports, entertainment, weather, events, all you need to know about our school, our region, and our world.
On Comcast Channel 54 in Denver and Channel 20 on campus. Noticiero TV Met, the student's voice of MSU Denver in Spanish.
Up next on Footage Fanatics, it's time to finally talk about Walking Dead, which we haven't gotten to do so just yet. And joining us on the show for the first time, Mr. Stephen Priest. What's up, Stephen?
Doing well. I'm glad we got my contract situation figured out. Glad I was able to get the money part here, but I'm here.
Okay, contract is guaranteed?
Guaranteed, $2 million per show. So,
all right.
Tired of being in the back.
So we haven't gotten to discuss this season at all. Well, the funny thing is real side story, real quick. We talk about it on our sports show on accident sometimes, and sometimes it goes for an hour, like it did last semester. But now we get like 5 minutes to do so. Only it right now. I want to talk about the season as a whole, but a lot of last episode. What are you guys' thoughts on the season so far?
I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, just the whole dynamic. Only The Walking Dead can take a show, just a specific episode, and really just focus on the side characters, like Carol, and then we also got Maggie in there, and it could still be a great show. I think it was at the beginning of this season when they focused on, was it Morgan? Or
it was earlier. Yeah, it was in the first half of the season.
Just the whole episode. But I mean, so far, just the dynamics. You're starting to see Rick kind of change his ways. You saw it for a little bit, had me worried. Bearded Rick is usually the greatest character ever, the most bad, I don't know if I can cuss on him.
Probably not.
The baddest butt character around.
We need to do something real quick before I forget. We need to have spoiler alert. Mr. Spoiler, please.
Oh, yeah.
Spoilers! Ah! And on that note, we have a cast member, a crewman who's got out of here. Hector, who's on our camera 2 right now, get out of the studio. Because we're trying to get him to watch Walking Dead right now.
Deuce out,
he needs to get out of here because we don't want to ruin it for him. We got him to finally watch.
I think he just got to season 3.
Yeah,
right?
so Hector, you're out.
Yep, bye Hector. Get out of
Bye,
here.
Bye, Hector. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we had to get Hector out of here. We got to make sure it doesn't spoil it. Anything, so you're continuing there. You talk about Carol and Maggie.
Well, yeah, that, but then you also saw Rick, and just his transformation. Just this season, you saw him kind of tail off to think that Alexandria was a place he could live. But then these past episodes, you're starting to see that old Rick start to revert back, which is it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how he's changing or how he has changed, because in the beginning of this season, he didn't want to bring anyone in. And it was more so just kill. Right. And then it got to a point where, okay, we're going to start bringing in people like Jesus, and then going to
Jesus is awesome.
and then going to what's their place called? The Hilltop place.
Hilltop, yeah.
Hilltop. Okay. Going there and helping them and making the trades and all that. So we've seen this group completely change after they got jumped on by the wolves, and how everything happened with that. So I don't know how the season's gonna end. We have an idea. If you don't want to know about what happens in the comics, don't listen. Turn it off now. But
and Hector's still in here for some reason. I don't know. He's gonna hear it.
In the comics, when the first time you see Negan, the very first page in the comics, he kills Glenn, and it's not just some gunshot or whatever. He takes a bat with needles sticking out of it, and he bashes his face in. Now, if you remember in the last episode, remember when Glenn is about to kill the guy sleeping?
Guy, yeah.
He looks up, he sees all the pictures.
All the Kodaks.
Yeah, and that's Negan killing all those people. That's his head. That's their head being bashed in by that bat. That's their weapon. That's his weapon, and that's how Glenn is supposed to die. But he's also the one that blew up the group of bikers.
Daryl.
Well, Glenn did it in the comics. And how it happens is Negan knows, he sees that, and so to get revenge, he kills Glenn.
And this group just found out about that. My only question is, everyone who just heard that fact is now dead, though. Everyone that was in that group that heard, that's how the bikers died.
But also Negan saw it. Negan saw that actually happen.
How?
In the comic.
But did he in the show?
We don't know yet. I mean, we might see here in a couple episodes.
We know they're good at hiding in the woods to talk to them on radio. Maybe they're in the woods.
And we just saw in an episode where they just focused on one person. Right. They've done it with the governor too, where they just showed them. They went completely away from the group. Right. They just showed him. We could see that where Negan. We could see an episode where it's just Negan. We kind of understand where he's coming from now. And we see him at the end of that episode, we see Daryl blow the group of bikers up. So now it's changed, because in the comics that was Glenn, and that's why he killed Glenn.
So you're familiar with the comics. In the comics, did they do this whole "we are all Negan" thing?
That I don't know. Right, I don't. My brother knows more.
Negan. You are Negan.
Yeah.
We are Negan.
That's what I was gonna ask my brother, because he knows that whole story more than I do. I know what happens. Right. I haven't read it or really followed into it. It was just more my brother telling me what happened, with me not wanting to know, but it just happened.
So then, do you think that since Daryl is the one that blew up the bikers,
I think Daryl's the one that's gonna die.
And it's crazy, because I'm telling you, if he dies, all right, people love Glenn, but Daryl is like
the heart and soul.
People love Daryl.
It could be something where they're just trying to switch it up, and they're still gonna kill Glenn anyways.
You think they're gonna kill one of the girls? Does Carol and Maggie die too?
I think
how would they?
It's not just gonna be one person that's gonna die.
I feel like they were gonna off Carol. It was this last episode.
Yeah.
Now that you know that she's survived it.
How has she survived this
I could
long?
see.
That's what those people want to know. Like they thought it was just this little, what do they call it, little bird.
Yeah.
Like,
and the next
how
episode,
did you survive
and then
this
she's
long?
a savage, just stabbing people.
I know, and the girl was even like, so you, in essence, she was like, well, you used to be that little bird that you were pretending, but you ain't that no more.
Yeah, Carol would have had to die in the last episode.
Yeah.
I
think
when
when she sliced Maggie, I thought
that's what I thought too. The one girl that I can never remember his name. Red hair, beard, mustache.
Abraham.
Mm-hmm. His ex-girlfriend. What's her name?
We know what you're talking about. I forget.
I can't remember.
Their group. Eugene, her, Abraham.
Yeah.
I have a feeling she might go here pretty soon. I think Eugene has a shot to go here pretty soon as well.
Eugene, every group needs a Eugene.
Well, in the trailer for next week's episode, we see Eugene fighting zombies.
Right.
Which is weird to think about, because that was the opposite we thought he would ever do.
So someone's gonna die here pretty soon.
How many? There's like 3, 4.
I think there's
something like that.
3 more.
Yeah, 3 more.
Yeah. But the second we see Negan, he's going to kill someone.
Well, and again, the homage to that is when they said, the first time we saw him, he kind of showed his dominance and they killed one of their people.
Yeah, that's what the Hilltop people said. Yeah. So
it's gonna get ugly.
We're gonna see
real soon.
And I thought Glenn was gonna trade places with Maggie, being captured, and then that's how it's going to happen. Obviously, that's not going to be how it goes.
So when do you think we see
interesting.
Episode, like this next
I think
episode?
it'll be the finale.
Finale?
Yeah, it's going to have to be the finale to introduce him. And
Who's
what better way?
Who's the actor that plays him? I forget his name.
I have no idea.
I don't
know what he
remember.
looked like.
But we haven't seen him yet. A lot of people are confused because people keep on saying that they're Negan.
Are you Negan? Who's
Right.
Negan? I don't know who Negan is.
So a lot of people are confused, but we haven't seen him yet. But I mean, in the comics, he did see, his group get blown up. Yeah. Obviously, that was Daryl in the TV show. Now, Daryl doesn't exist in the
Jeffrey
comics.
Dean Morgan is playing him. Yeah. Oh, he's a bad man.
I already hate him.
He's a scary guy. He's got that. Oh, that's gonna be an awful
It's gonna be
scene.
rough. It's gonna be rough. And Negan isn't gonna be someone who's just here for one episode. No. They're not gonna do that. He's gonna be
the governor on steroids.
Right. He's gonna be there all next season.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
They're just setting up season 7, pretty much.
We're about to see the worst death since Tabitha.
Yeah. It's gonna be good stuff. I'm excited. The rest of the season's gonna be phenomenal. It's been an amazing season, and I know on this note, Game of Thrones coming back soon too. By the way,
GOT.
I know we didn't talk about it, and I have to say this because it's been incredible. House of Cards. You see the poster right over here is been so amazing. Season 4. I just want to touch on that real quickly because I can't get over the fact how amazing that series is. The thing about that series is even if you don't like politics, I know we talked about you about trying to get into it, but just Kevin Spacey, Robin Wright, the acting itself is enough reason to just watch it. The storyline, the writing is absolutely phenomenal. So I just had to get that in there because it'd be a shame to not mention it. But anyway, coming up on Footage Fanatics, it's trailer time coming up next. We're going to take a look at the new Civil War trailer. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Footage Fanatics. It's trailer time, and no better time to debut this new segment than with the trailer for Civil War. We're gonna watch the trailer along with you, and then we're gonna give our commentary and break it down afterwards. So here we go. So we're starting off in the cold.
Try to save as many people.
Where's that at? I have no idea. Winter Soldier.
Everybody. But you don't give up.
A lot of this is a lot of new footage in this trailer.
Yeah. I like this.
What's getting blown up there?
They're showing New York.
New York. Okay.
Washington D.C.
All the previous movies.
I like that they show more of this dialogue.
And that's the guy from the Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a general. Yeah,
He's a general.
like, or he wasn't a general then, but he moved up to it.
That's why I'm here.
There's what's his name? Playing Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
You see more too coming up here of Black Panther like chasing after Winter Soldier.
I'm sorry, Tony. If I see a situation pointed south, I can't ignore it.
Who's in these cells? Is what they are supposed to be?
That's what I'm thinking.
Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth.
So here we go.
This is cool.
Now we know it's Captain America chasing Black Panther, who's chasing Winter Soldier.
But the safest hands are still our own.
This is crazy.
And he's like, the face, he's like, how'd you shoot at me? How dare you? Do you think he dies?
No, that's a trick. He's not gonna. They wouldn't show a death in the trailer.
What's wrong about you?
No. Dismay.
They're coming for you.
I'm not the one that needs to watch their back.
This doesn't have to end in a fight, Tony. You just started a war.
A lot more dialogue between these two in this trailer. I think we're gonna see a lot of that. Do you think one of them kill each other? The Winter Soldier gets it?
Someone's gonna die.
I think Winter Soldier gets killed. More. First time we see Ant-Man in the trailer, right?
Final
Yeah, I think so.
I could do this all day.
More of the fighting. Incredible.
All right, I've run out of patience.
Here we go.
On to Ruse!
Don't know what he says there.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone.
The eyes, I mean,
I like the eyes. It's kind of like
first time we're seeing Spider-Man.
Yeah, first time we're seeing Spider-Man. One thing.
Yeah.
We see Vision get a little messed
he's
up.
doing she's Scarlet Witch, she's doing her little trick on him.
That was my issue. How do you have Vision and now you're gonna fight? Of course Vision's gonna win all the time. Like, who's gonna stop Vision? So now we know that. That was one of the big questions. And then I'm surprised that they did show Spider-Man, because not a lot of people knew that he was gonna be in this movie. You know, only people like us who constantly pay attention, right?
Yeah.
But that's interesting that they showed him in a trailer instead of waiting till the movie. But I don't
It gets
know.
all the people who love Spider-Man in.
Right.
Now,
yeah.
the voice of him, I forget the actor's name,
Yeah,
but
you got to remember he's young. He's still in high school.
he's obsessed with Iron Man, right? He's
Yeah.
like, that's why he's joining this fight. Do you think he eventually down the road, and granted we don't know, we know barely ain't much about him, but like down the road he kind of regrets that decision, maybe turns the other side, like, hey, I joined the wrong side. It was a quick decision.
And they're pretty much following it.
Yeah.
The way that him and Iron Man are kind of buddies and whatever, and Iron Man builds his suit and all these things. In the comics, though, Spider-Man switched sides.
So he starts with Iron Man, then switches to.
Right. So
okay.
I don't know if we see it in this movie. I don't know how big of a part Spider-Man's going to have in this movie, because that one scene kind of seems like that's the first time we see him, at least in the suit. We might see Peter Parker with Iron Man and them having some dialogue, but I don't know how they're going to implement him. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. But more from that trailer, I mean, it's hard to see who's going to die. And by the way, Baron Zemo, who's showing up right here on our screen there, he's going to play a role in this as well. There's also another character, the guy who was in Hydra that started to turn on Captain America. He's in one of those German suits, and he's some other character as well. There's a lot still we don't know.
Yeah.
Talk about amazing done trailers. We still don't know anything. We've seen so much, and we barely know anything. We know Spider-Man's in it. We know Captain America and Iron Man are fighting. We know it's on both sides. We know there's going to be a lot of conflict in terms of giving up power, not trying to give up power, whatnot. Other than that, we don't know anything. And that's incredible. With how much footage we've seen, we still know nothing.
They did a good job, and it's the complete opposite of what Batman v Superman did. Because
absolutely.
Their trailer, they showed way too much, right?
That trailer kind of is an homage to showing exactly what DC is having to do, is speed up to where Avengers is at, where Marvel has had their series.
And that's where they're gonna.
Hopefully.
That's gonna be their fault, because just what I was saying, earlier about the Man of Steel and how they should have split that into two movies. Imagine if Marvel put the first two Iron Man movies in one.
Yeah.
And it would have felt way too quick and all these things. So that's what kind of it feels like what DC's doing. I think we're seeing, how to do it the right way as far as these superhero movies. But the advantage for Marvel is that all of these characters, all these superheroes, we haven't seen their stories very often.
The Marvel characters?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, but a lot of them we have seen that build up though with a lot of them.
Well, but when they originally at least this series. So this Iron Man or this Captain America, we haven't seen a ton of movies, whereas DC, we've seen a lot of their characters in movies already.
That's true.
So,
but we've seen the build-up in their individual stuff like Iron Man, Captain America. People forget that as much as this looks like an Avengers movie, it's still a Captain America movie, which Captain America 2 was kind of an Avengers movie too. That's just how it is.
Well, Robert Downey Jr., he came out and said he sees this as Iron Man 4 as well. So we're going to see a lot of Iron Man, and I think we're going to see a lot of Iron Man trying to get Spider-Man, trying to get Peter Parker.
Okay.
I think that's where, in the comics they fight over Black Panther, whereas I think in this movie, obviously we see Black Panther on Iron Man's side already.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see more of them fighting over Spider-Man, and fighting over Peter Parker.
Well, I'm excited for this, man. The trailer looks amazing. So, all right. Well, it's time to end this week's episode of Footage Fanatics. Make sure you subscribe to Footage Fanatics on YouTube. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Footage Fanatics. Follow us on Twitter at Footage Fanatics. And of course, head on over to footagefanatics.com. See you next time.